5 red flags in qualifying. Alonso and Albon have a huge crash. Pole for Lando Norris. And it's go, go, go in the race. And George Russell takes the lead. Oh, I give up. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Well, what can we say about that Grand Prix? What I can say is, for the first time ever, I have written down some bullet points. And not only that, I've got 4 pages of bullet points right here. Usually, I just do it off of memory because I've only just seen the race like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours ago. But so much went on in that race, I thought, nope. So I took a pen and paper and I'm glad I did because here we are then, 4 pages about the Brazilian Grand Prix 2024. Now before I start, I'd just like to say that this race gave me some 2003 vibes, definitely. I loved that one at Brazil. So many things went on during that race. I think Fizzy Keller won it in the end and his car was on fire in the pit lane or something like that anyway. But it was just a crazy, crazy race. It was actually broadcast on my birthday back then in April, and I was at a birthday party and there was no internet back in 2003, but I was listening to the news and it was saying, oh, this was the best race ever in Formula 1. And I was so bloody mad. I was like, stupid bloody birthday party. But anyway, that was that race. This was this race, the 2024 Brazilian Grand Prix. So yes, it started for qualifying. When qualifying eventually started, of course, we had the sprint round, which went pretty successfully, but qualifying unfortunately was rained off, so they did that on the Sunday, yes, as well as the race as well. And in the qualifying session there was 5 red flags during the session. Alonso and Albon had a huge crash and pole went to Lando Norris. Yes, Lando Norris. Now the race was about to start. It was raining. They were all on intermediate tyres, so even though they brought the race forward a couple of hours, it really didn't make much difference because, well, rain is rain. It can come down at any time, really. So yes, so it was time to say go, go, go. But before even it started, there was some shenanigans going on with Lancey Boy Stroll, who actually went off on the formation lap. Yes, well done. He's now the new David Twat Coulthard. Yes. Well done, Lancey Boy Stroll, because if everyone remembers, that's what happened to David Coulthard. He went off on the formation lap in the Williams, yes, and everybody laughed, including me, because it was very, very funny. So yes, Lance Stroll, and unfortunately he damaged the front wing of the car, but I thought, well, you know, just go back and get another. He couldn't get the car started again, so he was out of the Grand Prix before it even started. So a special award has to go to Lance Stroll for being Wally of the Week. Yes, definitely, Wally of the Week. Anyway, we had an aborted start and the commentators were saying, oh my goodness, look, we've got about 3 or 4 cars that have stalled. It was Max Verstappen and Colin Pinto was just a few of them, but that wasn't the case. They were waiting for the green lights and the green lights never came, and so away the rest of the field went and they were sitting there going, what's going on? We're supposed to be waiting for the green lights. Now, of course, this caused an investigation because Lando Norris was one of the cars that went away, but it was all done after the race. So there you go. We had Norris moving too soon, and then the race started and it was time to say go, 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 and straight away George at the Russell took the lead under the intermediate conditions, and I was just like, oh my god, yes, another bottle from Lando Norris. He was in the lead and I just can't take anymore. I just cannot take anymore. Anyway, we move forward to lap 2 and Checo Perez spun out. Yes, of course, it was difficult conditions on those intermediate tyres, but yeah, Perez spun out, so that was very interesting. And Ollie Behrman actually got a 10-second penalty on lap 11 for actually running into the back of Colin Pinto. But as he said, well, I've taken the biggest penalty because I spun the car, which I think was quite fair with him. But no, he's got a 10-second penalty as well. The stewards, once again, doing their best job ever. And so, yeah, so that was lap 11. And then on lap 12, of course, we had Lulu. Poor little Lulu went off as well in his little bubble car. Yes, his little bubble car, because it just goes up and down. Bump, 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 like a big bubble. Big bubble his car is, yes. Like a little balloon it is, like a little balloon. He don't know what's up with it. He's so glad he's going to Ferrari next year. I can't tell you. He just doesn't. This this is going back to the porpoising, isn't it, from 2022? Yes, my car is porpoising again. Yes, even though we've completely erased that word from the English dictionary since 2022 because it was so overused. But no, it's come back again. Yes, so Lulu's car was porpoising, unfortunately, and that's why he went off. So we accelerate forward to lap 26. Liam Lawson had an off as well, and Hulkenberg on lap 27 also had a spin. Hulkenberg was out, or at least we thought he was out. The virtual safety car came out, but he actually rejoined on lap 28. Okay, so we now jump forward to lap 32. It's just never ending, is it? It's never ending. And the safety car came out on lap 32 because Colapinto crashed, and in fact that did bring out the red flag. And the black flag was awarded to Hulkenberg for being pushed for the first time since 2007. That's the first black flag that's been issued since 2007. Fantastic. So, red flag came out, all the cars had to go back into the pit again, and they resumed on lap 33 under a rolling start. So off they went again. Berman and Guan Yu Zhou spin before the restart. Yes, they both spin out before the restart. As I say, once again, they're on those intermediate tyres. They're very, very cold. You know, they're not warmed up to temperature, and these things happen. And then Lando goes off, and Russell takes him on lap 34. So once again, Lando bottled it. Absolute bottle job. Ollie Berman went off on lap 36, but then he rejoined. And then on lap 40, Carlos Sainz went into the wall. And once again, out came the little beep-boo safety car on lap 40. Yes, now on my final sheet here, Max takes the lead on the restart on lap 43. Lando goes off, gets re-overtaken by George Russell and drops down to 7th position. And they're in fact ending any chances of winning this year's World Championship. Yes, Chief Superintendent Bottle Job Lando Norris is now out of the championship. There was just too many points now that Max Verstappen has got for Lando to do it. It isn't, logistically, it is possible, but in reality, it is not possible anymore that Lando is, because of Max. If Max, had an accident or whatever and wasn't able to do any more of the races, it would be on. But he's still going to be there. He's still going to be picking up points, whatever Lando does. Even if he wins the next 3 races, Max is going to get there and he's going to get points. So there's no way now that Lando Norris is going to win this year's World Championship. He has bottled it. Absolutely bottled it. I can't help but feel that Lando Norris' standing in the F1 world has certainly dipped a little bit over this year. I mean, let's sort of rewind back a little bit to when he was with Daniel Ricciardo, the Honey Badger. I mean, he was absolutely crucifying Daniel Ricciardo, absolutely crucifying. Everyone was saying, yeah, well, he is definitely proving that he's a number one driver. He is a number one driver. But we've got to remember Daniel Ricciardo wasn't really up to much at that point anyway. So the fact that he was beating him wasn't really showing that he was that great of a driver. And I have to say, I think Lando is just... I think his popularity may take a little dip as well as we've been watching what's been going on during this year. He just doesn't seem to have that killer instinct that you need to win a world championship. He's just too bloody nice. That's the trouble. And nice guys finish last. That's the saying, and that's true because he is just too bloody nice. He needs that Ayrton Senna killer instinct, and he just hasn't got it. In fact, I believe his teammate, Oscar's Pastry, has got more of that killer instinct than Lando Norris has. This is going to be very interesting next year, of course. Very interesting. If that McLaren car is just as quick and fast as it has been this year, I think it's going to be very interesting next year because I think Piastri is just going to absolutely piss all over Lando Norris. I really do. I can't see any other situation coming to fruition than that. And unfortunately, on lap 44, Alonso went off in the wet conditions and he lost out on 10th position in, of course, the only car by Aston Martin that was still running because Mr. Twat-faced Lancey boy crashed out on the formation lap. So then Verstappen wins the race from 17th to 1st. And I know I've been very critical of Max Verstappen. I've also said that when he's really up against it and when he's really fighting with other drivers. He can't drive, and I still stand by that. But I have to say, in these wet conditions at Brazil, he proved that he is the natural successor of the Michael Schumacher Rain Master, because he did a master class there of passing these cars. Don't forget, under slippery conditions. And some of those cars that he went past, he just swept past them like they weren't even there, like they were actually standing still. So because of that, I have to do that for Maxi Boy Verstappen. There's no, I've got no option. I've got to, because that was an absolutely sensational drive from Max. There's nothing else you could say. He did exactly what he needed to do and proved that he still got it, and he's still very much likely to win this year's World Championship. Because as I say, mathematically it's still on for Lando Norris, but in theory it's not. And he didn't just lose it at this point in the championship. He lost it ages ago. Now, I was saying that those points that he gave to Oscar's pastry, if that came to fruition at the end, they're going to be but I don't even think it's going to get that far. I think Verstappen's going to win by pretty much a country mile by the time we get to Abu Dhabi. I think he could possibly be 50, maybe 60 points ahead of Lando by the time we get to finish the race at Abu Dhabi. But we will see. But I definitely don't think those points that he lost in the race a few races ago is going to make any difference. I really don't, because I think Lando has definitely got this year's World Championship. Now, of course, next year is going to be a different kettle of fish, because that will be the first Red Bull, which Adrian Newey has had no part in designing or anything like that. So that's going to be a different kettle of fish for Red Bull next year. I believe if Verstappen wins this championship this year, I think that's his fourth win, isn't it? I think that could be his last championship win for a few years. I think Red Bull are going to go into a slight decline, like they did during the Mercedes era, I think, for a few years. And then I think they'll bounce back again, because once the continuity of, the new guy who's designing the car, once that starts to slot into place, and once the new regulations for 2026 come out as well, and that's been implemented for a couple of years, I think Red Bull will bounce back, because let's face it, they are a team that just can't help winning. So I think they will still be there, but I do believe that starting next year will be a definite decline for Red Bull for a few years, and then they'll probably bounce back again. So I think for Maxi Boy, this year is going to be his last World Championship for a few years, which is great to see, because I'd love to see someone else take the crown next year, 2026 as well. It'd be great to see. I can't think who it's going to be. It's definitely not going to be Lando Norris. It could be Oscar's pastry, or it could be Charles Leclerc. I don't know. It could be any of those. It's definitely not going to be Lulu, I can tell you that much. But anyway, so yeah, that's my prediction for next year anyway. But special congratulations has to go to Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly for getting second and third in that Grand Prix. I'm especially happy because long-time viewers know that I do a league on a Monday night, and me and Dusty the Bin, we are the Alpine boys. We started as the Renault boys on F1 2010 with the yellow Renault, if anyone remembers that. Horrible car, but it's equal car, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was a horrible car in F1 2010, and we've just progressed, from there. I mean, we still are the Renault boys, because officially Alpine is still the Works Renault team. Yes, it won't be for much longer when, of course, they ditch the Renault engine, but yeah, it'll just be the Alpine team then, because obviously you can't have a Works team without a Works engine in it. That's not how it works, no. But for the moment, yeah, they are still the Renault Works team. So congratulations to Ocon and Gasly. And oh my God, it was Ocon, wasn't it? He was so happy. So that team radio was just absolutely epic. And that's the thing, when you're at the back and you're struggling and really trying to just get the tail end of the points, when you get a race like this come along and you end up as a second and third place for Alpine, it's just magical. It's just like Minardi winning a point. It's the same feeling you get. Because as a Minardi driver, that technically there's no chance you'd ever get a point. But if you do get a point, that's what it's like. It's just absolutely magical. So congratulations to both the Alpine boys for doing what needs to be done. And that was not have any offs, just keep it on the tarmac despite the wet conditions and finish on the podium in second and third. So congratulations to them. George of the Russell, watch out for that rather slippery water. He also came in fourth position, so congratulations to George of the Russell. He did an absolutely pretty flawless race, it had to be said. A few little altercations, but nothing too serious. And then, of course, finally, we have to come to Lando Norris, who finished in sixth position after... How many offs did he have? I think he had more than one, didn't he? Was it two? I lost the will to live after the first one, because of course everyone knows my prediction was that Lando Norris was going to win this year's World Championship. I think that's just completely blown out of the water right now. But Lando Norris finished in sixth position. So Verstappen won, he finished sixth, which means he lost a mountain of points to Verstappen. I think the gap now is 86 points. I'm not quite sure. I have to look on the board, but I think it's 86 points. So, as I say, it's too many. It's just too many. There's only 3 more rounds to go. So there just isn't... Or is that how many points are left? I think it might be how many points are left. 86 points. I think I remember reading... I don't know what the actual gap is between Verstappen and Norris. I'd have to look it up. But whatever it is, I think it is. There's 86 points left in the championship because we've still got some sprints to go, haven't we? So, yeah, it's a huge margin that I can't see Norris pulling up the gap because he just hasn't got it. He just hasn't got that killer instinct. So Maxi boy is a cert to win the championship this year, unless something happens and he, I don't know, has an accident and breaks his leg or something. But to be honest, even if he did that, I still think he'd win. Because Norris would just bottle the last 3 races and he won't win them. Someone else will if Verstappen's not there, and he still won't win because he won't have enough points to beat Verstappen. So yeah, I don't think it makes much difference, to be honest. But I'm sure Max is going to make sure that nothing's going to happen in the last 3 rounds. Of course, we got Qatar, we've got Las Vegas as the first one. Oh God, I can't stand that circuit. I just hate it. I just absolutely hate it with a passion. But we've got Las Vegas, and this is like the celebratory tour for Liberty Media, isn't it? That's all it is. The celebratory tour, last 6 rounds, mostly in America. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's just Las Vegas. We've got Qatar, and then we've got the last one, of course, in Abu Dhabi, which will decide the championship. But I'm pretty sure the championship will probably be decided by Qatar at the latest. Possibly even Las Vegas if Max finishes in first place and Lando bottles it again and ends up in, I don't know, Caesar's Palace pretending he's Elvis. God knows what will happen. But anyway, there you go. That was the absolutely stupendous and exciting Brazilian Grand Prix. Yes, I mean, as I say, first time ever I had to write cliff notes of events that happened during the race because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what was going on. But just goes to show you, throw a little bit of water onto the circuit and you end up with a great race. If anyone remembers, Bernie Ecclestone had the brilliant idea, that's the ex-boss of Formula 1, he was going to actually suggest having water sprinklers on the circuit to actually spray water on to make it more exciting. That was his idea. It was rejected, of course, but that was his idea back in the day, that a little bit of water always makes an exciting race, and once again it did. And Brazil, of course, with the fact that when it rains at Brazil, it bloody rains. I mean, looking down that start-finish line, it was just like this complete fog at one point. You could not see anything at all. You couldn't even see the cars coming down the start-finish line because this complete mist of water was just in the air at Brazil. Of course, don't forget Brazil, they've got their rainforest, haven't they? Brazilian rainforest. So when it rains in Brazil, it bloody chucks it down. It really does absolutely chuck it down. And I don't think having the race 2 hours earlier made any difference. They should have just run it at the normal time, because I do believe it would have been just as raining at that time than it was making it 2 hours earlier. But anyway, there you go. A very exciting race. Now let me know in the comments what you think. Yes, come on everyone who's English, give me your autopsy for Lando Norris, because it needs to be done. Come on, give me your autopsy. If you happen to be a McLaren fan, then just vent it in my comments, because I don't care. Well, YouTube cares because they actually blocked me last week during my live stream, but that's another story. But yes, I don't care. So say what you like. Just get it all out now. Just vent it out, because we've got a 2-week break now before the last 3 rounds of the championship. So just vent it out and tell me what you thought about that Grand Prix. I don't think anyone can be in doubt that that was a very special Grand Prix, because there was so much going on. As I say, I had to write it down because I would never remembered it all, but it was just a terrific Grand Prix. Congratulations to everyone. And I think with the conditions, I think everyone did pretty bloody well, in fact, because if anyone remembers back to 2003, that race, there was people going off left, right and centre everywhere. I think only about 8 cars finished in the end, and certainly more than 8 cars finished this race. So I think the drivers did very well indeed. Yes. So there you go. That was my, I say quick, but there was a lot to get through. That was my quick review of the Brazilian Grand Prix. As I say, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. I can take a little 1-week break now before I return for the final 3 rounds of the championship, which is great to see. And we will see Max Verstappen be crowned world champion 2024. Yes, you heard it here first. All right, I'll stop that now. Lando Norris could still win. No, he's not going to win it. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.